Good evening. The state's top prosecutor has issued an extraordinary apology after a woman was spared jail over a sickening attack on a female police officer.
The DPP admits his office dropped the ball by failing to appeal the sentence, admitting it needs to do better.
A sickening bottle attack on a country officer and no jail time.
I'm incredibly disappointed that police officers are out there putting themselves in harm's way, expecting protection of the justice system when they are victims of serious assaults.
The woman arrested over the assault escaped prison with a suspended sentence back in December, but it's the fury unleashed by our top cop today that sparked an unprecedented move by our top prosecutor. Late this afternoon, issuing this bombshell admission, my office's internal systems failed to detect what arguably should have been appealed. I have personally spoken with the police officer who was assaulted to acknowledge our shortcomings and apologise to her. And to SAPOL, we apologise to them all for dropping the ball and commit to doing better. But the outgoing Chief Justice has defended our legal system.
All judges should be entitled to come to their decision according to law without a campaign designed to make them feel the heat.
In sentencing, the judge took into account the attacker's remorse, her lack of criminal history, and the fact she has 4 young children at home, including 2 with special needs. But an appeal is what should have been asked for, according to the Commissioner and now the DPP. The extraordinary admission made too late with no time for an appeal. The opposition today promised mandatory sentencing.
If you attack a police officer, you will be going to jail under a Liberal government, and frankly, that's where you belong.
But our top cop isn't blaming our laws, just the way they are used.
I am firmly of the view that not every person who assaults a police officer should receive a custodial sentence.
Hannah Ford, 7 News.
Just 2 weeks after opening its doors, Adelaide's new aquatic centre has closed 3 pools amid fears of a contagious parasite. Staff are deep cleaning the site as a precaution after a visit from a swimmer who was experiencing symptoms.
At the newly opened Adelaide Aquatic Centre, authorities respond to a potentially super-spreading disease.
If there's an outbreak of something, we don't all want to catch it and have it spread in the community.
It's called Cryptosporidium, a parasite that can cause gastrointestinal illness and can be contracted by swallowing contaminated water. A visitor experiencing symptoms recently attended the facility.
There's no confirmed case here. There's no confirmed case anyone has caught this from here. What there is a preventive action.
Following the advice of SA Health, the centre closed 3 of its indoor and outdoor pools as staff work to treat and sanitise the swimming areas.
With something like gastro or similar, it's very contagious, so for them to shut down the pool, I think, is a really good choice.
Last year, 7 public pools across SA were exposed. They all required heavy doses of chlorine to kill off any presence of the parasite.
It's probably more newsworthy because it's a brand new pool, but I don't think it's different than what happens in many other pools from time to time across the state.
SA Health is urging anyone suffering sickness or diarrhoea to avoid public pools and not return for at least 2 weeks after symptoms stop.
It's not common, but by the same token, our pool operators know exactly what they need to do and our health authorities know how to make sure that's done properly.
Mitchell Sariovsky, 7 News.
A woman and 2 teenage girls have been arrested over a brawl that broke out at the Monopara shopping centre late last month. Vision from an onlooker shows the 41-year-old and 2 14-year-olds ganging up to attack a mother and daughter. The trio has been charged with assault and will face court next month.
A police officer's been airlifted to hospital following a nasty crash on the West Coast. Lauren Rose joins us from the Royal Adelaide. Lauren, he was involved in a head-on.
He was, Rosanna, while behind the wheel of an escort vehicle. These photos show the front of his Kia SUV obliterated after it slammed into an oncoming truck at a bend in the Air Highway around 12 k's east of Ceduna yesterday afternoon. He had been travelling behind a pilot vehicle and in front of an oversized load. The officer suffered serious injuries in the crash and was last night transported to Adelaide by the Royal Flying Doctor Service. Police. His condition is now listed as stable and 7 News understands he is awake. Well, earlier today, the police commissioner said he was hoping to personally check in on him soon.
Thank you, Lauren. Police want the public to look out for debris washed up along the coast after Friday's tragic light plane crash near the Murray Mouth, which claimed 3 men's lives. This fragment was found yesterday, more than 10 kilometres from where the aircraft went down. Anyone who finds wreckage can hand it to the Victor Harbour Police or get in touch with authorities.
Port Adelaide legend Warren Tredrea has narrowly avoided bankruptcy, paying in full the $149,000 debt he owed his ex-employer Channel 9. The Premiership captain had until 4 p.m. yesterday to hand over the money. Tredrea lost a long-running unfair dismissal case over his refusal to be vaccinated for COVID-19.
A mother who lost her only child in a horror road crash has laid bare her grief. She's begged drivers to be more aware of motorcyclists on the road so her young son's death is not in vain.
Danny Gailey and his mum were inseparable until a crash at Aldinga in 2024 shattered her world. The 21-year-old motorcyclist was struck and killed at the intersection of South and Malpas roads. The driver, Elizabeth Cranes, claims she just didn't see him. Yelena Muravyova's victim impact statement was heartbreaking. The old you just dies with your child. When you lose a child, you are afraid to live. And this: more than anything now, I am petrified of living a long life. Elizabeth Cranes had cannabis in her system at the time, but prosecutors say it's unclear if that had any impact on her driving. In her apology, she said she wishes she could turn back time and continues to live with ongoing remorse and deep sadness. She became the first person to be charged with the offence of causing death by careless driving, which came into effect following the death of schoolgirl Sophia Naismith in 2019. Sophia's father, Luke Naismith, was in court today to support Danny Gailey's family.
Consumed by grief, Danny's mother has since moved interstate because she can't bear to be anywhere that reminds her of her only child.
She said nobody planned what happened that day, adding it didn't have to happen, and urged drivers to check, double-check and check again for bikes on the roads. There are no winners, only broken hearts, broken lives, loss and grief. Cranes will be sentenced next month. Deanna Williams, 7 News.
Health is shaping up as a defining election issue, with both major parties focusing on regional shortcomings. Doctors from across the state gathered in a rare show of unity today, demanding promises be matched with action.
Busy taking selfies with the doctors of tomorrow.
Say, doctors!
While today's health crisis rages on.
For a long time, people have been saying that, and what we've actually got now is a government that's willing to tackle it.
$13 million for a Mount Gambier medical school is being sold as a long-term fix for regional health issues.
This is going to mean more doctors in the regions, more GPs in the regions, more support for our country hospitals.
The Libs say the state can't wait, pointing to their promise to entice doctors to regional wards now.
Right across the nation, they'll get a $15,000 upfront enticement to move to regional South Australia.
A program that's already in motion, according to the government. With promises coming from both sides, health is shaping up as a defining issue of the election. But for voters, the real question is whether either party can fix the crisis plaguing our hospitals.
Despite significant investment from the government in beds, we're still seeing ramping and bed block continue to rise.
Doctors from around the state gathering today, urging both sides to move beyond talk.
It's rare for us to all come together like this, but we're united in our concern about the current state of our health system.
Nurses share that concern, and they're threatening to derail Labor's election campaign if their pay demands aren't met.
We are sick of being taken for granted.
Expect the gloves to come off tonight when Health Minister Chris Picton goes head-to-head with Shadow Minister Heidi Girolamo in their first debate. Michaela Kamarik, 7 News.
2 bandits have assaulted a convenience store worker during a brazen robbery in Hindley Street. Police arrived just before 9:30 last night, finding an injured employee at the New City convenience store. The suspects were last seen running along Gilbert Place carrying stolen items. While detectives were investigating the attack, they seized a number of illegal cigarettes and vapes from the store.
Live golfers are right in the swing of things at Grange, taking to the course with Test cricket and footy stars for the Celebrity Pro-Am. If star power is anything to go by, this year is shaping up to be the biggest tournament so far.
The VIPs at LIV, from River captain Cameron Smith to former Australian skipper Steve Smith.
Feeling confident? Oh, not really.
Isaac Smith and a recently retired yet limbered up Usman Khawaja.
Swing hard, I say. Yeah. Well, I'd say we're at a fair disadvantage, Pappy and I, with Aussie being a hand-eye sport. So we're a team today. I've said it before, we're a team, all right? Stop trying to split us up.
Taking a swing with golf's greats and its fast-rising stars.
Should be some fun.
With more than 100,000 fans expected at the tournament over 4 days, Live organisers today slapping down the PGA, announcing they've applied to make Adelaide a major, as defending champion Joaquin Niemann went on a charm offensive, and Grange member Wade Ormsby was named a high flyer, replacing six-time major winner Phil Mickelson.
To call it my home course and hometown, and it just makes you feel proud.
Live 2026 will still boast the full complement of current stars, with most resisting the PGA's failed player raid. But 7 News can reveal a big name will be missing from the stands this year. The Shark wasn't invited to this year's tournament. Greg Norman says, like most fans, he'll be keeping a close eye on the Ripper GC's latest recruit, Elvis Smiley.
While fans went shopping for signatures in Rundle Mall.
I'll see you on the 12th.
Hayden Nelson, 7 News.
Heartless arsonists have torched a Salisbury North mother's Mercedes SUV. Dramatic phone footage was taken when the firebug struck on Rolleston Avenue just after midnight. Firefighters extinguished the blaze, but the luxury car was gutted. Anyone with information about the attack should contact police.
The Israeli president has taken his Australian tour to Canberra, along with the protests and the tension. Despite Israel's fierce criticism of Anthony Albanese in the wake of the Bondi massacre, Isaac Herzog was welcomed by the Prime Minister with open arms.
Rolling out the red carpet so Anthony Albanese can be seen walking shoulder to shoulder with Israel. On the road from the airport, a less welcoming message quickly covered up. As Israel's head of state meets ours, greeted by Governor-General Sam Mostyn.
I think it is terribly important that your visit is one that stands with those who are still grieving.
We both share the need to fight anti-Semitism.
Security tight, on the ground and above, as news of his visit to the Israeli embassy reaches protesters outside Parliament House.
A peace tree. I mean, hypocrisy doesn't even begin to cover it.
A smaller protest than Sydney and not violent, but their message just as direct for a man accused by the UN of inciting genocide in Gaza, something he angrily denies.
Arrest Herzog! Arrest Herzog!
And the same provocative chant.
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free! As he is ushered in the other side. The Israeli government's criticism of Anthony Albanese after the Bondi massacre was brutal, but the president says his mission here is to repair, not get square.
There's also an opportunity to bring the relations between our nations on a new beginning.
You've provided comfort to the Jewish Australian community.
In private, Anthony Albanese restated Australian anger over the killing of aid worker Zomi Franken and its desire to see the death in Gaza end.
We in Australia want to see peace in the Middle East.
And here, Mark Riley, 7 News.
There are fast-moving and breaking developments in the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping in America that's gripped the world for more than a week.
Officers appear close to blowing the case wide open. They've arrested a suspect and are searching a house. With New Hope, detectives are close to finding the 84-year-old.
Police swarm a house in southern Arizona. The woman who lives here struggling to understand why.
They're just invading my property. I told them they're going in and out my house, taking a lot of pictures and everything.
Police detained a man at Rio Rico, 20 kilometres from the Mexican border, an hour south of Tucson from where Nancy Guthrie was seemingly abducted.
This is CNN Breaking News.
And we do have major breaking news as the Pima County Sheriff's deputies and the FBI have detained a person for questioning in the Nancy Guthrie case.
Confirmed to us that was involved in this traffic stop. It's a silver Nissan Rogue. Is this your son-in-law's vehicle?
The one that was on the side of the, that's my daughter's vehicle. He works in Chosin.
What does he do?
He's a delivery guy.
This just hours after the FBI released this video. A masked intruder outside Nancy Guthrie's home, armed with what appears to be a handgun. Spotting the doorbell camera, the person hits it, tampers with it, then turns around, exposing a stuffed backpack. They appear to look for something, eventually ripping a plant from the garden, using the shrubbery to obstruct the lens.
They did not look like they expected there to be a camera, which you would have expected someone who's more proficient to have done some recon.
Every single available clue analysed by the FBI, frame by frame.
That it's highly premeditated and very poorly planned. Those pavers, those are a known size, probably like a foot square. That gives you his shoe size. From the shoe size, you get height. There is so much that they learn from this.
The video was captured on February 1, hours before the 84-year-old was reported missing. But Nancy Guthrie didn't pay for a subscription for the camera that would have automatically saved the video. After 10 days, the FBI says the vision was retrieved from residual data.
But this is a demonstration to people out there that digital evidence very rarely goes away.
From her TV host daughter, Savannah Guthrie, we believe she is still alive. Someone out there recognises this person. A chilling development, but newfound hope this mystery might be solved. In Phoenix, Arizona, Miley Hogan, 7 News.
10 people are dead and 25 more in hospital after a mass shooting in Canada. Most of the victims were killed at a high school in the town of Tumbler Ridge, over 1,000 kilometres north of Vancouver. The shooter, reportedly a woman, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
The people of Tumbler Ridge remain in a state of crisis following one of the worst mass shootings in our province's and country's history.
The mayor said the town is so small he'll likely know every victim.
Canberra is buzzing right now with reports Angus Taylor could quit shadow cabinet at any minute, triggering his Liberal leadership challenge against Susan Lee and putting him at the point of no return.
A leadership spat tailor-made for mockery.
Now, we don't know who the Liberal leader will be next week.
Government minister after minister riffing on Angus Taylor's silence.
While we wait for the men in the Liberal Party to draw straws.
The Conservative would-be leader not yet ready to run.
Giant vacant space.
Nor to rule out a run.
The member for Hume was born with a silver foot in his mouth, Mr Speaker.
Leader Susan Lee's supporters infuriated their party room might dump the first woman to lead them just 9 months after they elected her.
If you want to call a spill, put your name to it and call it.
So let's give her a fair chance. I don't know, it's crazy, it might just work.
Other Liberals alarmed by poll numbers that suggest the party's very existence is threatened.
In a tough time for our party, we've been in a death spiral.
This evening, a media pack has formed outside Angus Taylor's office. Journalists in the corridor even closer, all expecting Taylor will make the 50-metre walk from his office to Susan Lee's office to tell her he's quitting her front bench and taking her job. If he makes the walk, it will signal Taylor believes he has the numbers, and the Liberals will vote on leadership before MPs leave here on Friday. Tim Lester, 7 News.